Hello everyone, my name is Holden Hardman, and I just got back from my trip to New York City. I spent about 2 full days in Manhattan and tried to explore as much as I could. Oh, and I also got engaged in Times Square.
So, sweetie, I was gonna see if you would make me the happiest man in the world and marry me.
Yes.
I'll make sure to put a link in the description and one of those little icons at the end of this video if you want to watch me propose to my girlfriend. It's very sweet. Oh, so sweet. Needless to say, it was a very busy and very fulfilling week for me. But even during this amazing trip, I could not help but think of Spider-Man while visiting the greatest city in the world, specifically the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. Which are by far my favorite Spider-Man movies. So I wanted to devote at least a little bit of time to finding some of the filming locations from the original trilogy. But bear in mind that this did not consume my entire trip. I really tried to fit it in with things that we were already going to. So if there was a filming location from a few blocks away, from somewhere that we were already going, I would try and, work my way. So because of that, I wasn't able to visit all of the places I wanted to go, but I was able to get in a few. And if I do have any viewers that live in that area, please feel free to do the same thing here. If I had more time and I wasn't preoccupied with some of the other things that I was in New York for, I would have done this all over the city and made like one really awesome video of just a bunch of locations. The first place on my list was the car scene with Peter and Uncle Ben. It's the first time Uncle Ben tells Peter,
"With great power comes great responsibility."
It set the stage for Peter's sense of responsibility throughout the entire franchise. The callback to this scene in Spider-Man 2 ended up being even more impactful for me, but I digress. They filmed this in front of the New York Public Library, and luckily, since I have all 3 movies memorized, I just remembered when Peter told Uncle Ben where he was going in the first movie.
Oh, going to the downtown library. I'll see you later.
After that, finding it was pretty easy.
Stop pretending to be.
Then stop pretending to be.
Being at all these locations in person was really surreal. I had seen these movies dozens upon dozens of times, so actually seeing it for real was such a cool feeling. Up next was the church in Spider-Man 3, where Peter rids himself of the symbiote and gives it to Eddie Brock on accident. The actual church that they filmed this at was a church in Los Angeles called St. Brendan's Catholic Church. However, the modeling and decor was supposed to resemble that of New York's Trinity Church or St. Patrick's Cathedral. So we visited St. Patrick's Cathedral, okay? While I couldn't visit the actual filming location because it was on the opposite end of the country, I was satisfied with its spiritual counterpart, if you will. After all this traveling and proposing and all that, I needed to recharge a little bit. And what better place to recharge than Joe's Pizza?
You're late, man.
Peter worked at this restaurant in Spider-Man 2, and it served as the opening for that movie. And not only that, but it also gave us some amazing side quests in Spider-Man 2, the game, with the most amazing and memorable theme song. My now fiance and I grabbed a few slices of this New York pizza while checking out the celebrity wall they had.
That's that one guy from that movie.
Oh, yeah.
The actual place itself was really, really small. Or maybe I should say cozy. Everything was very, very tight and about the size of my old bedroom in my dad's old trailer. Still, getting to experience Joe's 29-minute guarantee is a promise, man. I know to you viewers a promise means nothing, but to me it's serious.
Serious to me too, Mr. Aziz.
Also, a man that was standing right outside began yelling and swearing at a guy who was wearing a Boston t-shirt. Ah, New York. While in Central Park, I admittedly had 2 separate movie locations that I wanted to visit. The first was the Balto statue. Don't at me. Balto was my favorite movie when I was growing up as a kid, and I always remember the opening of that movie. Well, the opening and closing of that movie, where the old lady is like teaching her granddaughter about Balto. Ever since then, I've always wanted to see the Balto statue for myself. So I'm glad I got the chance to do that.
Thank you, Balto. I would have been lost without you.
This kid just was like talking about the Balto statue. He's like, is that a bad dog? I'm about to smack him right in the face. Anyway, while in Central Park, I visited the bridge that MJ breaks up with Peter on. This one hit a little close to home because I was planning on proposing on this trip, and I hadn't done it at this point, so I didn't know if visiting this bridge may have been bad luck because Peter like desperately tries to keep his relationship together by showing MJ the ring. Luckily, it didn't appear to be bad luck because everything turned out well. Also, I know this is a movie because when MJ and Peter meet up on that bridge, there's nobody else on it in the middle of the day. I found this pretty unrealistic considering the swarms of people that were there when I was visiting it.
You look beautiful.
Maybe you just have to be a local or know when the best time of year to visit it is. I don't know. Then after that, there were a few quick shots from a couple different locations that I remembered from the movies. Like how the Flatiron building was the Daily Bugle, so I made sure to get a shot of that. Or when Peter is walking sternly towards the camera in Spider-Man 3 in Times Square. Or even just seeing the subway for the first time. I about half expected to see Spider-Man and Doc Ock just like battling on top of it. But that's it, everyone. I was hoping to get a few more locations in. Maybe next time I'll be able to do that. And just like being in the city and seeing all these like larger than life buildings, I kept waiting for Spider-Man just to, you know, come swing by in. There were a couple shots like in the first movie where they do like on the ground perspectives of seeing Spider-Man like swinging. Like when he drops off Mary Jane, or when some people are just like watching him swing from the streets. That's how it was, man. I was just like, all right, where is he? Oh, another thing, I've just added this t-shirt to my Teespring store. So if you're interested in supporting my channel outside of just watching my videos, I'll make sure to put a link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave me a like. It helps me out a lot. And leave me a comment down below letting me know your favorite location in the original Spider-Man trilogy. If you did enjoy this video, consider subscribing to my channel for more fun content like this. As always, everyone, I appreciate you watching, and I'll catch you in my next video. Take care.